Welcome back to Clarion-Sports.com. We restarted the stream. I apologize for the choppiness. I'm trying to get that taken care of. The Gale male cheerleaders performing in between sets. Here comes serve all the way. John will start things off for the Cowgirls. Asks them with the dive. Middleton up off the block, and it's going to land just inside the line. Cowgirls will continue. John back to serve once again, serving 1-0 Cowgirls. Mason. Lewison, and it goes long. It's going to be another point as John will head back to serve once again. Mason. Haas just tapping it across. John underneath. Middleton back to Mason. Oberg sets. Linneman. And Friesleben just tapping it across. It's going to dump it over. Mason dives to get underneath, but to no avail. It'll be Cowgirl point, and back to serve is Jondal. Ace for Jondal. She set it right in between Mason and Huss. Mason will get the dig. Oberg has to run clear across court to get to the set. Conlon. Check that wasn't Conlon, that was Jondal. Cowgirls continuing to roll now, up 5-0. Jondal still back serving. Nice hard serve to the back row. Oberg. Huss has to run, bring it forward. Middleton, and drops it right inside the back row. Back line, I should say. Makes it 7-0 now. Cowgirls out on a roll. Timeout's going to be taken by the Gales. We're going to just take a quick timeout here as well. Once again, reset the stream and hopefully get a little bit better picture for you right here on Clarion-Sports.com. Welcome back to Clarion-Sports.com. Cowgirls up on top right now, 7-0, set number 2. And Jondal still serving. Mason to Oberg with the set. And push it to the back, Jondal. Friesleben sets. Middleton up off the block, and it's going to go into Mason. Oberg again, and the Gales cannot get to it. Huss slides under the net to try to get in there. And this time Lewison hits it wide. Jondal has served now 9 straight. This time it is going to be an ace off of McBride. McBride's going to come out, and checking in is going to be Naughton, number 16. John will serve right to Naughton. She just puts her hands out in front, and ball just dropped. So another ace serve for Jaden Jondal. 11 straight points. 4 aces so far this set. And dropped just inside the back line. It was close. I mean, that is one where I could see somebody holding off a little bit, but it was pretty low at that point. So another ace serve. Jondal still back. 12 straight serves. 4 aces. And Huss up into the rafters. Mason keeps it alive. Lewison hits it across. Askelson. They set up Morgan Middleton, and another point goes to the Cowgirls. 13-0. Jaden Jondal still back serving. Nice hard serve. Naughton to Mason. Huss just kind of slapping at it. They set up Middleton, and the set was Middleton, a little miscommunication. She was kind of coming behind. So the Gales get their first point. Huss. Askelson. Friesleben. Middleton. And this one still alive, but able to get it back across. Friesleben sets. This time off the block, and net violation against the Gales. McBride comes back in for Naughton. 14-1. Friesleben back to serve for CGD. This one into the net, trying to dig it out, and it's going to be a carry called on Oberg, so it makes it 15-1. Nice deep serve by Friesleben. Askelson with the dig. Set. Lindemann up for the kill. Drops it right in the back corner. Kendall Lindemann, nice kill. Makes it 16-1. Cowgirls continuing to roll. Gales into the nets. 16, make that 17-1 now. As Friesleben, only the second Cowgirl to serve in this set. Jondal with 14 straight. Lindemann up, and she's going long this time. She put her go-go gadget muscles on and just trounced the ball to the back wall. 17-2, Cowgirls with the lead. Mason serve. Here's Askelson with the dig. Friesleben sets. Middleton. Over. Mason. Lewison just bumping across. Askelson with the dig. Set. Middleton this time. She's got such a good eye of the court as to where to place that spike, and it was right. Just dropped it right in front of Mason. The libero made it 18-2. Is Megan Askelson back to serve now. She's once again the third Cowgirl to serve in this set. That's it. Lindemann dives, tries to get underneath it, can't quite. That was a tough position to be in. 18-3 is we're going to send Lewison back for service. Askelson. Set. He's off the rafters, and Scott mistimes her jump. Spikes it right into the floor, though. Unfortunately for the Gales, it was on their side. Makes it 19-3. Morgan Middleton back to serve for CGD. Oberg. And a kill the other way. Scott coming back. Makes it 19-4. Askelson. Friesleben. Kapka. And that one. Tell you what, Mason Lee looked good. At a glance, it looked like she got there in time, but official said, nope, hit the floor first. So 20-4 is Kendall Lindemann back. Lindemann serve into the nets. And make it 20-5. Scott back to serve. Middleton. Some sets. Send it back deep, and it was a little deep, barely, but it was there. I'll agree. The Cowboy fans not thinking so, but. And in return, Scott will go wide the other side to hand it back to the Cowgirls. 21-6. As Mason comes back in as the libero. Back to serve is going to be Kapka. They serve to the back row. Kitty gets underneath it. It's Mason with the. They set Middleton. Mason. Conlon back. Lindemann, and this one's going into the stands. 16-21. It's Cowgirls will have to wait for another service to try to close this one out. Oberg back to serve for the Gales. 21-7. Lindemann with the dig. Here's the set. Friesel even thought it was touched. Middleton, all of a sudden the Cowgirls struggled a little bit, trying to get their head wrapped around things once again. Up 21-9. I mean, they've had a big run. 13, 14 straight points before the Gales got on the board. Middleton into the net. Mistimed the jump. Lindemann. Friesleben sets. Middleton up. This time it's not coming back because it goes off Oberg's hands. And it will stay, or actually go back to the Cowgirls. 22-10 the score. Cowgirls, of course, winning the first one, 25-18. Jondal back, so full round through service this set now. And Jondal's serve into the net. I think she's actually a little tired. She served a lot of points early on. Jondal. Friesleben sets. Middleton up, and it's going long. Gales within 10. And this one right into the net from Huss. And it'll be 23-12. Friesleben back to serve. Mason with the dig. Here's Oberg with the set. Lewison. Nice job by Friesleben. Protecting her face, but getting it back across the net. Here's the dig from Jondal. The set from Friesleben. Middleton finds a spot. Didn't have to put much on it. And Friesleben will be back serving 24-12. Mason gets it back across. Friesleben saves it, and John gets it back across. The Cowgirls still alive. Haskelson runs it down. Middleton bumps it back across. Haskelson doing a good job of following it off. Friesleben. Jondal and Linneman, and this one's not coming back, and the Cowgirls will take this one 25-12. That was actually a really good volley between the two. 25-12. Cowgirls on top right now, 4-1. This is set number 3. The timeout's going to be taken by Coach Huss and the Gales. They have not had an answer for this Cowgirl team tonight. A couple times, look like they're making a little run on the first 2 sets, but it has been pretty much all CGD all night. Reminder, Cowboy football coming your way tomorrow night. Back serving is Megan Askelson, serving 4-1. Cowgirls. Her service is going to go into the net. And put it back in the hands of the Gales. Askelson, nice dig. Kapka hits it off the block, but it keeps, she hit it at an angle off the block, so it drops in on the Gales side. And that's going to be service to the Cowgirls. Middleton will go back to serve. Serve across. Scott. Oberg back to Scott into the block, and keeping it alive is Kenny. Oberg back across. Here's the sets. Kapka drops it right inside the line. Cowgirls up 6-2. Middleton serve. Goes up and into the basketball. Coach Huss arguing that the ball was should have been a dead ball or a redo, but the official said no. Middleton had a serve, and it was returned. Kapka mistimes her jump at the net and can't get the kill, so it goes back to the Gales. 7-3 the score. Cowgirls with the lead. This is set number 3. The first 2 were 25-18, 25-12, both Cowgirls. Middleton just reached out and hit the ball straight out in front of her. She does, if she makes an error, she'll turn, she'll say, that was me. This one goes long as Middleton pulls her hands back in, doesn't touch it, so it goes out the back. We'll make it 8-4. Kendall Linneman back to serve. Linneman's service. Scott. Huss hits it back across. Free ball, then it goes out, hits the official. As Kenny diving, trying to get underneath of it. Wasn't able to do so, so it makes it 9-4. Linneman still serving. Cowgirls with the lead. This time it's McBride, just puts her hands out in front and has it bounce off onto the floor. Kendall serve. Kinney. Oberg sets. Scott up. Askelson with the dig. Here's the set from Friesleben. Jondal drops it right inside the back row. Mason reached out and tried to dive for it, as did McBride, but it's going to be Linneman back still serving for the Cowgirls. 11-4 now the score. Kinney. Oberg sets. Huss up. And it goes wide. Kinney. They keep it alive. Scott gets it across. And this one's going to roll up the official's arm and point to the Gales. As Mason will come out and Westhoff into the front row. Excuse me, Kruthoff into the front row. Scott's serve. Friese Edmond sets. Scott, Oberg, back to Huss. And it was in. Just in the line. Scott's next serve into the net. Makes it 13-6 as Conlon will come into the front row. Kamka back to serve. Askelson will head to the bench for a minute. Ace serve for Kamka. Kinney was backpedaling. Kinney. Oberg, Huss goes wide. 15-6. Cowgirls with the lead. Kapka still serving. Cowgirls are once again already 1-2, 25-18, 25-12. Looking to sweep the Gales. And Kapka's serve goes into the net. So she'll come out. Askelson comes in. Oberg will head back to serve for St. Edmunds. Also into the front row will be Lewison. Linneman goes back across. Lewison kind of hits it the wrong way a little bit, but Huss. Linneman played it off the beam. Askelson gets it across. Oberg. Nice job by Friesleben finishing the shot. So it's 16-7 as Jondal will head back to serve. Joking around going on between Friesleben and Scott with the front row. Oh, excuse me. Friesleben. Lewison. Lindemann. Friesleben sets. Middleton with this right between Mason and McBride. Cowgirl lead is 10. 17-7. Jondal's serve comes. It's going to go wide. Makes it 17-8. And it'll be Huss heading back to serve. Middleton, strong finish. Huss wasn't able to reach out and grab it. Makes it a 10-point Cowgirl lead once again as Friesleben heads back to serve. It is 18-8. Away football tomorrow night, 7:30 kickoff, I believe is what it is. I'll check that. Probably should have checked it before I said something, huh? Lewison, Huss. Askelson keeps it alive. Friesleben just bumps it back across. Oberg sets. And that's going to be 4 hits. So Friesleben will head back to serve, 19-8. Mason dives. Lewison keeps it alive, and backpedaling is Jondal. Linneman into the net. No, they're going to say it was net, top of the net, not the block, so it'll be 4 hits. Linneman rolls it across the top of the net, out of the reach of McBride, and makes it 20-9. As Haskellson will head back to serve. Kapka back into the front row. Linneman diving, trying to get underneath of it. And keep it to within 10 as Lewison will head back to serve. There's the dig from Haskellson. The set. Linneman off the block, and it's going to go back to Mason. McBride, long. What? Oh, they're saying it was tipped by the Cowgirls. Okay. I guess that's what they saw. Haskellson, Friesleben sets. Kapka across. Friesleben just freeze it across. They set McBride. Friesleben sets. Middleton up into the block, and it comes back down on the Gale side. 21-11. 7:30 start. Yeah, 7:30 kickoff tomorrow night in Hampton. We have been invited over for a tailgate soup supper, by the way. You feel a little hungry, want to get a little bit of soup before you go into the game. Now you know. Gales, 3 attempts to pull it off the net. And it is Middleton back serving 22-11. Middleton's serve goes long. Sends McBride back to serve. 22-12. Haskellson. Friesleben. Middleton, and that off of McBride is not coming back. So 23-12, Linneman serve. Scott wins the battle at the net. And the Gales will continue to play. 23-13, they still trail by 10. Some substitutions coming in. Scott's going to come out, and they're going to bring in Neverman. Check that. Naughton to serve. Haskellson. Set, and Kapka finishes strong at the net. Some more substitutions. Naughton will come out, and Scott back in, and she'll come back out again. And the libero checks in. 24-13. This is match, game, set, all that fun stuff. Kinney, Mason, and Huss. Friesleben sets. Jondal, it's up, and it's going to be points. Just a slight net violation. Conlon got just barely caught the net with her fingertips. It was enough to wiggle the net a little bit, and the official caught it, so it makes it 24-14. Backer serve. Oberg. Friesleben keeps it alive. And Haskellson gets it back across. They set Huss. Linneman. Friesleben. And it goes long. John got just a little bit too much of that one. Here's the set. And Friesleben up. Jondal. Mason gets underneath of it. Oberg sets. Huss across. Jondal. Conlon. And Friesleben will get it with a little trickery at the net. It makes it 25-15 the final. So the Cowgirls walk away with a sweep again. continue their winning ways. 25-18, 25-12, 25-15. And that is going to wrap up tonight's broadcast. Thank you to everybody here at St. Edmunds for allowing us to do this. And we'll be talking to you tomorrow night. Tyler will be joining me for football from Hampton-Dumont as we broadcast Cowboy football, the last non-district game of this year. And we will begin districts next week, but still got to take care of Hampton-Dumont tomorrow night. They are 1-2 on the season. Cowboys 2-1, and we'll see you. Actually, we'll talk to you about 10 minutes before kickoff or so. So about 7:20 tomorrow night, right here at ClarionSports.com.